Hey folks, did you know that it is painfully simple to make inline spinners? All you're going to need is a closed eye wire shaft. Then for the sake of bearings, you'll need a few hollow body metal beads. Then lure bodies of choice. And then blades of choice. Then a hook of choice. And then wire clevises. Now all of these are available on Jan's Netcraft or other lure making suppliers. I'll put some links in the description to help you find the stuff you'll need to build this. On top of that, tool wise, you'll also need some round nose pliers. And then while we're at it, go ahead and sneak in some side cutters as well. Once you get these, you're ready to start making some fish catching spinners. Alright, once you've gotten all your stuff together to make these, the process is actually very simple. And we're going to make one that is totally traditional here, and then we'll discuss a few things that you can change, ways you can alter these, and make them distinctly your own. So the first thing that we will do is take our wire shaft, and we're going to take one of our little beads here. What the beads do is they act as bearings and spacers so that our spinner will freely spin and not get fouled on anything. So we will take one of those beads and slide it onto the shaft, just like so. Here's a little closer look at our clevis here. That is what's going to hold our blade on. What we will do is we will take our blade and put it into the little U of the clevis, just like so. And what I do is I take it, you can see it's a little domed. Hopefully you can see that. Got white on white here, sorry about that. But there's a little dome shape there. Basically what we want to do is to put the top of the dome on top of our finger, like so. And now when we slide the wire shaft through, we'll make sure that our blade is properly oriented. So the wire just goes through the clevis, just like so. And we slide that up to our bead. Now we will take our next bead and we will do the same thing. We'll slide that right up to meet our other blade. Generally what I do here on the second one is I put an additional bead just to separate that blade away from the body with a little extra space. From here, you will take your body of choice and slide that on. There are piles of options for different bodies, everything from painted to normal metals. You can use beads and all sorts of things here. Now from here, we're ready to actually introduce some tools. So I'm going to take my round nose pliers and I'm going to come down here about 1 inch to ½ an inch away from our body that we put on. And we are going to take that wire and wrap it right around the nose of those round pliers and bring it up to about a 90-degree turn, just like so. Easy breezy. Pliers will do the work for you. Now from here, if we're making this super traditional, they have this red tubing. And what this red tubing does is it just dresses your hook, adds a little splash of color and a little interest. So you can take some of that if you wish and just cut off a small section. Put that right onto the shaft of your treble, like so. Now we will take our minimally dressed hook and we will just slide that down into where we are starting the next eye, just like so, and capture that. Now we will return back to our round nose pliers and grab right back in that loop in front of the treble, preferably. And from here, we're going to get a good grip and we are going to take this wire and begin to wrap it around the main shaft 1, 2 times. And we're going to try to keep those as close to each other as we can, just like so. And now we come in with those side cutters and we trim this off as close as we can. And it should end up pretty clean for you. And I will take, again, my round nose pliers, and I'm just going to try to get this loop a little more in line with the body. And there we have it, our very traditional French style spinner. Easy breezy, and these just catch fish. Come on, spinners just catch fish. Plain and simple. If you need to come in and tweak a little bit, if there's been any additional bend to your wire, you can kind of straighten things out. Sometimes things get a little bent as you're doing your wraps, but easy breezy, lemon squeezy. There we go. Now we get into the world of there's tons of options. There's tons of blades. There's double clevises where you can run more than one blade. There's tons of bodies. You don't even have to use these weighted bodies. I've used just beads with trout and salmon centric spinners. Using beads like this can mimic salmon eggs and really elicit bites. Now, of course, it goes without saying, if you don't want to be super traditional with your spinner, you can throw this thing in a vise and tie whatever materials you want on there, be it hackles, be it rabbit strips, be it marabou, flashabou, whatever you want to put on there. Make it your own. One thing that I like to do is take pre-tied flies, my favorite spinner ever. Just so you know, I'm showing it to you right now. It is the black and white lead body, black blade with a mint sparkle woolly bugger tied off it. Trout cannot resist. Smallmouth can't resist. This all black combination just straight up catches fish, and I love it. And all I did here was, instead of putting in the treble, I just put in a fly. Now you could also put a split ring off the back of these so that you can switch that very easily. That is one of my preferred things to do. I'm just currently out of split rings. Because of that, you can see that I've just made up a bunch of bodies here, and I've put nothing on the back. Once I get my split rings in, I'll then come in and install the split ring and be ready to go. I had another video, a short, about the dinner spinner, which is nothing more than taking a spinner and putting a straight shanked hook off the back so that you can run grubs, minnows, whatever you want off the back of this spinner, and it's basically just a massively scaled down spinnerbait at that point. I've been doing it for years and years and years. It's kind of becoming a thing now. We've always called it the dinner spinner. But what I'll do if I'm making up a bunch of those dinner spinners is I will just make up a bunch of the bodies, add the split rings later, and then you can put on your hook of choice. That being said, even without all the dressing and all the extra hubbub put into it, just a classic spinner like this will absolutely slay the fish. Sometimes simplicity is key. Just offering them that flash and vibration is all it takes to get hookups. You don't need all the extra pizzazz in there. That being said, you can make them as zazzy as you wish. So these are so easy to make. I'll link some supplies for you in the description there so that you can track this stuff down. In fact, I think Netcraft offers a starter kit that will get you everything you need to get started, and they're very affordable to make. Once you get the stuff, you can make a pile of spinners for super cheap, and it's always super cool to be able to make your own custom anything that catches fish. Thank you all so much for checking out the video. We greatly appreciate your time. Please like, please subscribe, please help our channel to grow. Leave us comments. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you all so much. Tight lines. Get out there on the water.